welcome to the Haverhill Journal, where we give you a quick look at what's happening in our city. I'm Lindsay Paris, and later in the show, we'll be taking a look at a very famous Merrimack Valley native who made it big in Hollywood's early days, and seeing how you can help to make the new downtown public plaza a success. But first, the beauty of the natural world is its mystery, the unexplained phenomena that surround us every day, often without our noticing. One such spectacular phenomenon is the gathering of thousands upon thousands of crows every winter evening in Lawrence, where they have created an oasis in the middle of a bustling city. It's an engrossing display for the ears and eyes, and something you really need to experience for yourself, as I did during a chilly sunset hour. In the frigid winter months, it's a truly awe-inspiring act of nature. Thousands of crows gathering every evening at twilight, their calls heard for miles around as they swoop in for their nightly assembly along the Merrimack River, right in the heart of the city of Lawrence. This is the winter crow roost, when over 10,000 American and fish crows gather at sunset to hunker down for the night. Visitors can't help but be mesmerized by the swirling flocks of crows filling the sky. Craig Gibson of the Lawrence Winter Crow Patrol has been observing the roost for 7 years.
The crows are very well known for being very smart, for being very social, and for being very family-centered. Crows have shown themselves to be among some of the smartest birds. What we're going to see with this crow roost is they're incredibly social. We'll see these massive flight streams come in. They gather up on the backside of Prospect Hill, and what we'll see is they'll come in, and a few of them will land in the trees right behind me, and then swarms will come in and follow after them. Loud, vocalizing, it's incredible. And then in about 50 minutes, it all quiets down, it all gets still. They're very quiet overnight. And then about 30 minutes before the time of sunrise, they go off in small and larger groupings in all different directions for the daytime. The numbers will peak typically around the end of January, early February, and ever so slowly start to fall off until early April.
Craig, I see the crows are starting to fill in behind us.
Yeah, oh, look at this.
Almost sunset, right? So this is an incredible experience, and I never realized how amazing it was until I actually came for myself. So why do you recommend people come out and see this for themselves?
It's unlike anything that I had ever seen before, and every time we have people out, individuals, small groups, large groups, they have this incredible sense of awe and mystery and a deeper appreciation for nature right here in the city of Lawrence.
The million-dollar question is, why do they do it? Is it because, like humans, they enjoy a good social gathering? Or is there something more at play?
Why do they roost in these large numbers? One possibility is that they like the ambient lighting in an urban location like Lawrence. Another suggestion is that there is a heat island effect in the city. Also, predator avoidance, to be away from great horned owls, maybe red-tailed hawks. But probably the biggest reason is that there's some type of information exchange, and very likely that information exchange is about food and food resources. It could also function as some kind of a dating bar for the upcoming season ahead.
For bird lovers and casual observers alike, the roost is truly something best experienced in person, occurring every winter evening, typically in one of 3 areas in downtown Lawrence.
The crows will usually each winter start to gather at the New Balance building on South Union Street along the Merrimack River. October, November, December, they will make that the roosting location every night. Last couple of years, the crows have come here to Prospect Hill at the corner of Marston Street and Prospect Street with the well-known landmark, that City of Lawrence white water tower. And this is one of the best vantage points because in a couple of the parking areas here, you can park a car safely at sunset. You're not in anybody's way. A number of times they have made the overnight roost just on the east side of the Route 495 bridge. And the only way to see that roosting location is from the very end of North Main Street in North Andover.
Gibson, the Catholic chaplain at Lawrence General Hospital, began observing the birds during his daily commute.
This is the 7th winter that I've been out actively monitoring, observing, tracking the roost. But the first time that I started to notice the crows, it goes back to 2010 when I started working at the hospital. When I came out of the hospital, particularly on more difficult days, this was a great buffer to take a half hour to be able to enjoy nature in the city of Lawrence, to watch this amazing bird spectacle unfold every night. And my wife would say, go take your time. And then when I come home, I'm relaxed. That mystery, that awe, enjoying nature, city of Lawrence, downtown, crows of all birds. It is just a jaw-dropping spectacle of nature to see this happen.
The Crow Patrol hosts an engaging blog and podcast at wintercrowroost.com, where you can find detailed information on the roost and learn more about crow behavior. Public use is a critical part of the Merrimack Street redevelopment project now underway, and the city is asking for feedback on the planned public plaza, a crucial part of the development. Next week, a public meeting will be held to get input from residents and local businesses on the new plaza's design. We spoke with Mayor Barrett and Economic Development and Planning Director Bill Pillsbury to find out more. Right across the street from where I'm standing is the future home of the Merrimack Street redevelopment project's public plaza. What's to come in that public plaza? Well, that's up to you, as the planners are looking for public participation in choosing a concept.
The public plaza portion of the project is as you know, is part of a $160 million renovation of the downtown.
There'll be mixed-use development, commercial and housing. A 600-plus space parking garage that's lit, maintained, and manned, and there'll be a public plaza. It was important to the previous mayor and to the council to have something for the public, something that other communities have. They have areas where just the general public is welcome to just walk through, to enjoy. When I was young, there were places to go all through downtown that are gone, and this is the beginning of 50 plus years later, putting it back that there's some use.
I grew up in Haverhill, and urban renewal was a thing that we had to live with, and we lost basically the heart and soul of our downtown was really kind of removed from us with nothing coming in its place. And I think what we have now is an opportunity to replace some of those things. We've
already had one meeting, and at that meeting there were a lot of the creative community there. In this one, we want to hear from the businesses that are downtown. We want to hear from some residents to see what their take is and what they would like to see.
January 29th from 2 to 4, there's the opportunity to come down there, to come down to HC Media, great space to see as well. One of the reasons we want the public to come to this event is to have an opportunity to suggest things that we might want to see. But we know it has to have certain things. It has to be publicly accessible, handicapped accessible. Some green areas, some seating areas, some wall seating areas, and perhaps an amphitheater where there could be theater presentations, or musical presentations.
It's quite a elevation change. We'll have to deal with that elevation change, whether it be stairways and ramps or just ramps. There'll be terraces for greenery, for perhaps a water feature. You know, there's an opportunity with this elevation change for lighting, a lighting feature rather than maybe a water feature that can change with the seasons or change with what's going on. Should we do bench seating? Should we do wall seating? What do we do in the terraces? Do we put swing sets like you see in Newburyport right now?
We want people's input on that. What would they like to see? What would they like to participate in the downtown area? It's very important to have as much public input as possible. We're in the design phase now. Let us know what you're thinking. When the public is invited, we'd like to see you come down and have an opportunity to tell us what you think.
Please join us for the Public Plaza Update meeting on Wednesday, January 29th from 2 to 4 p.m. right here at HC Media's Harbor Place location on the first floor of 2 Merrimack Street to share your ideas. When you think of screen sirens of Hollywood's golden age, names like Marilyn Monroe, Jean Harlow, and Rita Hayworth may come to mind. But there was one actress who, in her time, was as famous as any of them, and she got her start right here in the Merrimack Valley. The Haverhill Journal met up with the area's foremost expert on the Valley's own Thelma Todd.
Did my son tell you you had beautiful eyes?
Why, yes.
Told me that too. Tells that to everyone he meets. Oh, I love sitting on your lap. I could sit here all day if you didn't stand up.
Now you go right inside and take care of your little lady friend, and whenever you're ready, I'll be waiting right here. Yes, sir.
If you were a regular moviegoer in the 1920s and 30s, there's no doubt that you would know the name Thelma Todd. Nicknamed the Ice Cream Blonde and Hot Toddy, Thelma was one of the biggest stars of the early days of Hollywood, but she was born right here in the Merrimack Valley. The Haverhill Journal sat down with Joe Bella, the area's foremost expert on Thelma Todd, to learn more about her life, her Lawrence roots, and her tragic death.
Thelma was born on July 29, 1906, on South Broadway, where presently the General Tire Company is right now. Thelma basically grew up on, I would say, around Baldwin Street, attended Lawrence High School, graduated in 1923, and went on to the Lowell Normal School. She had desires on being a teacher. She had influential friends, and they said, run for Miss Lawrence, you'll make it, you'll make it, you'll win, you'll win. Sure enough, she won. And then they said, what about Miss Massachusetts? Try that.
It was at the Miss Massachusetts pageant that Thelma was discovered by a Hollywood talent scout, and soon she was off to California.
So Thelma went to Hollywood, made about roughly 120 first silent and then talkies.
From 1926 until her untimely death in 1935, Thelma starred in a wide variety of movies, but her specialty became comedies. Often cast as the pretty damsel in distress or the femme fatale, she shared the screen with every major comedian of the day, from Buster Keaton and Jimmy Durante.
Hey, what Broadway show were you with last season?
The Sunrise Supper Club. Say, I put that saloon on its feet. Made it New York's hottest night spot. And when I first went there, it was a speakeasy.
To Laurel and Hardy.
Come in.
To the Marx Brothers.
Professor, I don't see you. What are you doing here?
Nothing right now, but I was doing all right till you came in.
To add to her legacy, Thelma was also one of the very first Hollywood celebrities to open a restaurant using her name, Thelma Todd's Cafe, which still stands today. And as for Joe, he's not just a fan. He may be the area's biggest collector of Thelma Todd memorabilia.
I have 1,944 individual separate, no doubles, no duplicates. These are separate on glossy paper photos of Thelma in her movies. I have right here a tam that belonged to Thelma Todd. I have yet to see pictures of her wearing it. Hopefully I'll find some sometime. Then there's some Western Union telegrams that her mother got after she passed. And Thelma Todd's Inn, a napkin from her sidewalk cafe.
Unfortunately, in December of 1935, Thelma Todd met with an untimely end. She was found dead in her car, succumbing to carbon monoxide poisoning, bringing the life of the Merrimack Valley's original Hollywood icon to a close.
At the Trocadero, there was a party that night, December 16th, I think it was, and Thelma had attended. She left her keys with the maid saying, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable. The keys make me bulge. They show on my dress. Let's leave them here." But she probably shouldn't have done that. She came back very late that night. And of course, Thelma had no key. She left her key with her maid. So she knew the car was in the garage. It was a cold night. Even in December, sometimes it can get pretty chilly in Hollywood or Los Angeles. So she started the car to get warm. She started the engine. And then the next morning at 10 a.m., her maid, May Whitehead, came into the garage and saw Thelma leaning against the dashboard of the car, and she was found dead.
Had she lived, many historians believe she would have been as well remembered as Marilyn Monroe is today. Her legacy lives on, both with Hollywood historians and in her native Lawrence, Massachusetts. Thelma Todd, the ice cream blonde of the 1930s, will continue to entertain fans of Hollywood's golden age forever. So fascinating! Who knew that the Merrimack Valley had so many famous big screen natives? Looking to learn a new skill on these cold winter nights? It's always a good time to get started in media production. HC Media's free beginner production classes are open to you, and if you're interested in becoming an HC Media member or know someone who is, you can sign up for our basic membership class. If you've taken the basic class and would like to get started on video editing, HC Media also offers a 2-night introductory editing class using Adobe Premiere Pro. We also offer advanced editing workshops in March and April. All classes and trainings are free to all and open to Haverhill residents, organization members, and students. Just a quick reminder, the city's winter parking ordinance is in effect through April 1st. Street parking should be on the odd side of the street in the months of January and March, and on the even side of the street in February. If you have a story or event you'd like to see featured on the Haverhill Journal, call us at 978-372-8070 or email info@haverhillcommunitytv.org. And don't forget to like us on Facebook or at our HC Media YouTube channel. And that's what's happening in Haverhill in January. As always, I'm Lindsay Paris, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching and stay warm, everyone. Good night.